Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Winning Tradition podcast. I am your host, Jarrett.
And I am your host, Timmy.
Today, we have some special guests joining us from the Winning Tradition crew. Care to introduce yourself, guys?
My name is Benjamin Big Chungus Keith, and I'm here as a mock draft specialist.
I am your boy, Joshua Flint Mullins, here to just save Flint's water crisis.
Hey guys, I'm Hunter, King of Fungo Beasley, and I am
also known
the
as Big Papa
guy.
Pump.
Thank you, Ben.
What was my name? Oh, I was Rocket Boots.
Jared, Rocket Boots Griebler,
Jared
and Timmy
Rocket
can't
Boots.
eat bread to save his life.
Timmy,
Far now.
Timmy is Timmy sound effects.
Sound
Farno.
effects.
Okay.
Sound effects.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
I like breadless.
Today, we have a special segment in store. Today, instead of listing off all the headlines and everything from the past few days of sports news, today we're going to do something special. The Combine wrapped up this week, so we decided to all compile our own mock drafts and share them with each other, and then, of course, share them with you guys. So without further ado, let's get this started. I'll go. Does anyone want to go first?
Hey, man, we
I
can
was
have a
thinking
host
that
go
we
first.
do
I as the
picks
head of the
first.
table, I can start it. I can start
Okay.
it off. I
Ben-
can
you wanna
Ben
start?
says
I'm
you
at
start.
the head of the table. I
Oh,
think it's
yeah?
only
All right.
Oh, yeah.
appropriate.
Ben can start.
We can
Alright,
go
alright.
clockwise with this.
Yeah.
But I'll start it out.
Yeah,
And your name
it's right
starts
behind you as
alphabetically,
well,
too,
so if you want to take a look at it,
Okay.
that's okay.
Well, first off, big surprise
Oh,
here.
so
I have
for-
the Cardinals taking Kyler Murray.
We
They
lost the
made a
season
big
on
risk
purpose to
by
pick him.
hiring Cliff Kingsbury. So they're obviously in the nature of risks at the moment.
They are also shopping Josh Rosen at the moment, so
Actually, I saw a report today from Schefter that said they haven't made him available as of yet.
I
but-
saw a report contradicting that. But
Okay, well,
Whatever.
Adam
Yeah.
Schefter, the bester. But my point is, they're trying to hit a home run here with Kingsbury, and they're not going to go mild. They're going to go wild. They're going to go Kyler Murray.
plus, if they want to hit a
Yeah,
home run,
true.
draft the quarterback that you want.
Also, number one, this mock draft is a no trades mock draft, which we all very think that the Cardinals could trade the number one overall pick.
I don't think so.
No, but
Everyone
I think
else
it's
thinks so.
No, I think it's possible. I think it's a possibility. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
it's a possibility that any one of these.
No, I
picks
know
are
that
gonna
it's going to get traded. So
Let's
but
talk one at a time, guys. We're just going around in
I
a
know.
circle. It is Timmy's turn to announce his first pick.
I think we all at this table have Kyler Murray going number one in the Cardinals. So
Yes.
Yeah, does
Kyler
anybody
Murray.
differ from that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
if Kyler Murray.
I think they're gonna try and go with a quarterback that their new head coach, offensive-minded head coach, really loves. I think that.
And also, too, last year when Baker Mayfield, also from Oklahoma, no one expected Baker Mayfield to go first round, and then he went first pick, and look what he did with the Browns. So I mean, I can understand why the Cardinals want to go for Kyler Murray, hoping that would be the same thing for them and have turnaround season next year. And then
Some of that
That's a good
Oklahoma
point.
magic,
So,
but
yeah.
True.
Has there ever been a number one pick back to back from the same school?
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
I feel like there has.
Who?
It could be.
From where though?
It could
For
be
some
Alabama.
reason, it's
No.
like something's telling me USC.
I can't even remember the last time then USC went number one.
See, that's the point. But like, it's not in.
Now
it's
maybe it
not in
hasn't
our
happened
era.
in our common era, but maybe
Yeah.
it's happened.
I
before,
think
don't
what
know.
makes it so special is the fact that, same school, they're literally a year apart.
Same position.
And they both won.
I remember when
last
Kyler
trophy,
Murray
so-
was at Texas A&M.
Kyler
Yeah.
Murray is not all that though. If we're being honest. Here.
I don't think he's the best quarterback
Oh,
in
no.
the draft, but we'll
No,
get to
absolutely
that
not,
later.
yeah.
I don't.
We'll go through that.
I think this is more just like pleasing the fans, taking a big risk kind of pick.
Yeah.
as
Oh,
opposed to-
absolutely.
SC.
Yeah. This is definitely
was it?
anything.
Roy Yari, a tackle, and then O.J. Simpson, and
Where was
68,
that from?
69,
USC.
SC.
Wow. There you go, guys.
Um,
All right.
Look at that.
Sorry,
that
I'm
down.
After that,
I'm going through right now.
The juice.
The murderer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
The glove did not
Something
fit.
told me, man. Something told me USC.
All right, Ben. What's your second pick?
Second, I got Nick Bosa going in the Niners. The Niners have recently taken a plethora of defensive linemen within the top 10 picks because that's what they've been the last 5 years.
Yep.
And I think like 4 out of their last 5 top 10 picks have been D linemen.
So if Bosa gets drafted here, it would be Buckner,
Buckner.
Barnett.
No,
No,
no.
the guy from Stanford. Who
I
am
know who you're
thinking of?
talking. Solomon.
Solomon Thomas, and then Bosa.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And yeah, Buckner had a breakout year last year. They want someone on the other side to.
Solomon Thomas hasn't been great.
He hasn't
No,
been
he's
great,
been
but
good.
he's a
So,
starter though.
yeah.
That's like he's a solid
is
starter
the
for the
good news.
Niners.
He's good.
So
But
just
yeah.
like imagine that defensive line now.
I don't see them passing up on Nick Bosa. He's too good of a talent here at number 2.
I think he's the best player in the draft. So
I think he has the potential to be the best player in the draft. I mean, people are
Absolutely.
saying he's better than Joey, and Joey is an elite talent. So
I also have Nick Bosa going off the board here. I think that he should be the first defensive player drafted, if that makes sense. He should be the first one off the board.
how would that not make sense to me?
I don't know. I
it's
don't
good.
know.
It's good. Makes sense to me.
Okay. Anyway, it's just Josh.
Yeah, I also have Nick Bosa going to the second pick. I mean, if the Cardinals don't pick Kyler Murray first round, which I think they will, Nick Bosa, like you said, best defensive player, and I think he'll fit the 49ers defensive line really well. So.
Our friend Evan, who is also part of our winning tradition staff, he couldn't make it today. He also had Nick Bosa going number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do I have? I think I have the same thing. Yep, Nick Bosa, defensive end from Ohio State, going to the 49ers.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And basically the same points we already discussed. Moving on to pick number 3, the New York Jets are on the clock. Who are they going to take?
I have them taking Quinn Williams. They have Leonard on. What's his name? Leonard.
Leonard Williams.
Leonard
Yeah.
Williams on the outside as already he's a top 15, top 10 pass rusher in the league.
I'd say top 15, yeah.
Yeah, top 15.
For sure.
I think they have not had a notable defensive tackle since DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Didn't they have Wilfork for a
No,
while?
Yeah,
that was
see, like-
Patriots.
Yeah,
No,
but like
He put
even
him
if
in the Jets. Too.
even if they did have Wilfork, they never
That
had.
must have been earlier.
They never
yeah.
had prime Wilfork. You know.
They had old Wilfork.
Yeah,
True.
but the
Sorry.
point is, the Jets, I think, last year they had a lot of trouble stopping the run. Quinn Williams is an explosive player. In a lot of other drafts, he's in the talk for being the number 1 overall pick. Like he is a wrecker inside. He will wreck your life, wreck your quarterback. He is a home wrecker. He is a stadium wrecker. He is a wrecker. I am in love with this player. I want to see it.
Can you?
I want to
tell?
see the Raiders take him as a Raiders fan or the Jags take him as a Jags fan, but I think he goes 3 here to the Jets.
I have the same thing. I have Quinnen Williams. I think the Jets need a person in the middle of that defensive line to help them shore up their run. Defense has been already hit on. I think that he is the best bet for them to do that. Josh.
I actually have Josh Allen from Kentucky going to the New York Jets. Even though Josh Allen can also play as an edge rusher too, he's just really honestly a versatile defender, and he can get to the quarterback really fast, and he's a really good passer. So I think the Jets could use someone like Josh Allen at their.
I have also Josh Allen going 3 to the Jets. The reason why I say this is because I think Leonard Williams can play the middle, so I don't think they would need another defensive tackle. Plus, they could probably get at least a decent one in free agency. What I value more is definitely more of an edge pass rusher. Any elite team needs an elite pass rusher. Josh Allen kind of fits the mold. If you look at Von Miller and Khalil Mack, they're both on the smaller side at least, and Josh Allen is kind of on that smaller side as well. Josh Allen has been consistent for 2 years at Kentucky, so I see no reason why he can't at least be a consistent force in the NFL. The Jets don't have an edge pass rusher either, so I feel like that's a perfect fit for him at 3.
Yep. Cool. What Evan had? Are we doing Evan?
Evan had, let's see, he had Quinn Williams at 3 too.
All right. Cool. Ben. shoot
Ben,
it.
pick number 4. The Raiders are on the clock. Who are they taking?
The Raiders take Josh Allen here. I think this is John
replacement
Gruden's.
for Khalil Mack.
Yeah, John Gruden's lackadaisical attempt to replace the greatest player that the Raiders have drafted in the last 20 years. It's
Woodson?
a shame. Woodson was 98, I think, and it's 2019. So
Oh, Just 1 year off.
There you go.
Yeah. Woodson was
Hey,
great.
yeah.
Though.
You know, I do my research. I could be totally off, and one of the viewers is looking up right now. Hey, it was 2001. No, I think it was 98. But I think Josh Allen here, he can somewhat fill the hole that Khalil Mack left, even though Khalil Mack is a generational talent. I don't think anybody can doubt that. Josh Allen, I don't think he'll ever be a elite pass rusher in the NFL. But I think he'll be one of those guys that's always like in Pro Bowl talks, you know, like always like hovering around the Pro Bowl somewhere like a Chandler Jones or a Yannick Ngakoue or a, you know, just one of those guys. You know, 10 sacks a season, just really solid rusher, and an SEC talent. You can't really go wrong with an SEC talent.
True. I have Josh Allen going here as well. So I think we have the same. A lot of us have the same first four, basically, but
Yeah,
just
a little
flipped
different
around in 3 and 4. Allen is what I think the Raiders need, and
Yeah, they were last in the league in sacks last year, so having a guy that can, you know, rack up 10 sacks like Josh Allen, it's great for them.
yeah, no. So Josh,
Yeah, a lot of Oakland Raider fans probably not gonna be happy with this one. I actually said Rashawn Gary from Michigan going number 4 overall. Obviously,
He's an edge rusher too, right?
Yes, yep.
He's
Obviously,
versatile.
yeah. Obviously, this year
Pretty
Rashawn
good.
Gary hasn't put up the stats for Michigan like he did his junior year, but
He's a monster, though.
yeah, when this guy is full health and he has a defense system working for him, this guy can really get to the quarterback and destroy that offensive line. So, yeah, he's a great pick.
He's a
I
physical
picked.
freak.
I have the Raiders taking Quinn Williams.
Yeah.
Who's their defense tackle they took last year? It was same guy. It was another Michigan guy.
Maurice Hurst.
Maurice
Yeah,
Hurst.
Maurice
Yeah.
Hurst, yep.
Steal
You
in the
still
fourth
don't.
round
It
last
was, but at
Absolutely.
the same time, we still don't know the conditions of the heart thing.
No, his heart actually seems to be.
Oh, it's okay
clear.
now.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
still,
pretty cleared up.
I feel like the Raiders would just take probably the best available player in Quinn Williams, and
Yeah.
that'd be great now.
Yeah,
Because
like-
you could move Hurst to the end because he play that in college somewhere.
Hurst is more of he's more of a 3-4 defensive tackle. Like he's a smaller
Yeah.
defensive tackle.
Now you have two of them.
I would not be upset here at all with Quinn Williams going to the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think he's a phenomenal player. I just don't see that as happening. But if it does happen, you know, no complaints.
Absolutely.
No complaints here.
Evan, and his colorful taste, has the Raiders taking Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State.
I think I got his reasoning for this.
I mean, I get why he said. Why
If
he
the Raiders
I
shop
don't get
Derek
it.
Carr, then yeah, but
No,
they're not
I
gonna.
heard his
Gruden's
reasoning.
made it, you know, pretty clear that he wants to give Carr at least, 1 or 2 more seasons shot. I think Carr's earned it at this point in his career.
Exactly.
He's
So-
shown flashes of being, close to an elite quarterback. He can't ever since his injury, he can't consistently stay there, but
True.
he still has the flashes.
So his reasoning for that is he said that they want to make a big splash and they need to draft a franchise player, and he believes Dwayne Haskins is that franchise player for the Raiders. So
They
I don't
won't
know.
need
I
him.
just
yeah,
see,
I don't know.
Because if Derek Carr becomes like an MVP type player,
Which
like,
he
what
was.
are you gonna do with Dwayne Haskins?
Exactly.
Like that's just a waste of a pick.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Ben,
Um,
pick 5.
5 here is one that I haven't seen often chosen, and this is coming straight out of the combine. Getting this pick here, I have Andre Dillard out of Washington State, the tackle, going to the Bucks. I think the Buccaneers are, in my opinion, like destined to pick an offensive lineman here. Their offensive line has been garbage
Terrible.
for.
Yes.
And if they're
for
gonna
like
make
5
Jameis
years.
Winston their franchise quarterback,
Yeah,
get
I mean, if
someone
they're-
to protect him.
If they're gonna get any, like if Jameis has any chance of like reestablishing himself as a franchise quarterback, he's gonna need time in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And my opinion right now is that Dillard's the best tackle in the draft. He had a phenomenal combine. Coming into the combine, I'd say he was in conversation for like around 2 or 3. Jonah Williams was the consensus one, but Dillard blew everybody out the water at the combine, and I think that impressed the Bucks enough for them to take him at 5 here.
And this is where I go different from a lot of people. I go Montez Sweat from Mississippi State here,
Ohio
DN.
State.
Just because I think that he is a pass rusher that defense didn't play so well. They also play in one of the toughest divisions in football with the Falcons, Saints, who are always the Falcons and Saints are just two of the teams, and the Panthers, which all have good offenses. So they need a defensive player like Sweat, who was blazing fast at the combine. Also, he's a really good player. I think he deserves to be a top 5 pick. So yeah, that's why I have Sweat going to the Buccaneers.
Joshua?
Yeah, I have Quinnen Williams going to the Buccaneers. Kind of similar to Timmy's example. Quinnen Williams is just a top 5 talent, and obviously Quinnen Williams can go to
B2B is not that good
the
either.
the top 4.
He's a space heater.
But yeah, no, this honestly it was just a top 5 pick. I feel the Bucs obviously they need more of an offensive line more than a defensive line. But even though that is their issue, I think you can't pass up on a player like Quinnen Williams in top 5 for sure.
Evan in his mock draft has the Buccaneers taking Josh Allen. He would be off of the board for that. And then I agreed with Ben on the point that they need a offensive tackle. I didn't pick Andre Dillard though. I picked Jonah Williams. I look at Jonah Williams and I think he's the next franchise tackle, if I'm being honest. Now, will he be absolutely one of the greats? Maybe, maybe not. But I feel like he's going to be a consistent guy that's going to be in your starting lineup for years and years and years to come. And from an offensive tackle type perspective, consistency is really all that you want. You don't have to be throwing guys left and right. As long as you can play and be consistent. If you let up a sack once in a while, people aren't going to hate you. That's going to happen. It's football. But as long as you can consistently play and protect a quarterback, you'll be good.
And also, too, if you just remain uninjured, too, for most of the season, because that's the biggest problem with
That's what Joe Thomas
linemen.
did.
Exactly. They just get injured. They drop flies.
That's what made Joe Thomas great. I think Jonah Williams reminds me a lot of Mike McGlinchey from last year. McGlinchey went 9 overall. That's where I see Jonah going this year.
Oh, Ben?
Pick number 6, the New York Football Giants are on the clock. I think we all...
he's been linked to them
we
all
all
season.
agree.
I think we have the same.
Obvious pick
It's
here.
Dwayne Haskins, guys.
Absolutely.
Oh yes. Evan doesn't agree on
Giants
it.
need him. He fills the need perfectly. He is a plug and play kind of quarterback that I think you can.
He doesn't even have to sit.
You
come
can
in
trust
and
him
play.
to compete from day one.
Yep.
Maybe not change around the franchise, give him a winning season, but you can trust them to be competitive from day one with Dwayne Haskins.
Absolutely.
So-
I think Dwayne Haskins has the best arm
Absolutely.
in the draft. He's
I think
smartest.
he's the most polished. I wouldn't say he has the best
quarterback in the
overall arm,
draft.
but he has the most polished quarterback and smartest
absolutely.
For
as
sure.
well. Yeah.
You know,
Um,
as a Michigan fan, seeing him play against Michigan, the scheme that he plays, it's just he's a very mature quarterback for his age. Having him, this was his sophomore year, right? Or
Yes.
is this
Junior.
Junior.
Oh wait,
Right.
no,
Redshirt sophomore.
redshirt sophomore.
Is
well,
it
he can
redshirt?
still come
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
But still though, even as a redshirt sophomore, only playing 2-3 years of college ball, already being able to be at that NFL elite talent and just go into the Giants organization as a first-year rookie and be able to, turn the Giants organization around and become a positive team. That right there is, I think, Haskins has those.
Josh, I'm
skills.
not laughing at you and your points. I'm just
We're just reviewing Evans.
we're looking at the mock,
boy.
and
It's
I was
something.
just looking at
Protect
Jarrett's
your
face
Sean
right
for the
now.
love of
We'll
God.
get to it later, but
Gosh.
from the
It's okay.
I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know if Evan just copied and pasted this, but you know what?
It's fine.
Whatever.
We still love you though.
But yeah, I think
We love him.
I think Dwayne Haskins is the best quarterback in this draft.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You plug them into the Giants, they will improve. I really do believe that.
Seven
Will
and
it be
nine?
by?
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
I feel like they will
Definitely.
win a few more games.
6 and
The
10, 7 and 9,
status
yeah.
of OBJ being in New York has been questioned because he is linked to 3 teams today: the Browns, the Raiders, and the Niners. So we'll see what happens there.
I could see the Niners.
don't
I could
him
see the
leaving.
Niners.
I personally don't. I see he's the franchise player for the Giants right now if they don't want to alienate fans.
The front
They need
office
to keep
doesn't
him.
like him though.
I mean, that's the whole
But
thing.
he sells tickets.
So does Saquon.
But I don't know. OBJ just has more of an it factor than
I
Saquon.
know what you're saying,
Yeah.
Alright.
but I feel like
OBJ 's
maybe
an
the front office
experienced
is
player.
like,
they
we don't wanna deal
people
with
like
you.
to come watch
The,
him play.
the thing is with OBJ, it's kind of like the whole Antonio Brown situation. Like he has a
He's a
big
diva.
personality, yeah. Like, and that's the reason
There's
why these
nothing wrong with that,
organizations
though.
don't like
No.
that. You know, that's what brings
Yes
fans
and
in.
no.
It's entertainment. You know.
Yeah, it is. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's what
It's-
Terrell Owens had. It's what Des Bryant had.
Exactly.
It's what,
It sells tickets.
yeah.
For sure.
And then he has the hair. Too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
got
The hair
nice,
just
Now
nice, fluffy, quality
we are on.
hair.
Yeah.
Right.
pick number 7.
The new
The
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville Jaguars
Jaguars.
are on the clock.
There's been a lot of rumors that the Jags at the start of free agency are going to sign Nick Foles,
Yeah.
and I don't see why this wouldn't be true. He would slot in right in as like a mid-range starter in the league, you know, middle kind of guy. But he's proven himself capable in the past. Obviously, a Super Bowl MVP.
They could be waiting for Justin Herbert next year.
They could. I mean, you never know.
Herbert.
But
I was about to say something
think
that I
Nick
shouldn't
Foles would
say.
slot in as a solid starter, not spectacular in any way, but a solid starter. What can put him over the top as a winning starter is having a beast to throw it to, and that's why I have them taking DK Metcalf here. Metcalf is a little bit unproven in college because of injury issues, but he tore it up at the combine, so much so that he's drawing comparisons to Calvin Johnson, and if you're drawing comparisons to Calvin Johnson, you're doing
That's a
something.
good
You're
thing.
doing something right.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
And I
for
don't
sure.
think the Jags, who they have a lot of good young receivers. They have D.D. Westbrook, they have Keelan Cole, they have Dante Moncrief. They have a lot of good young wide receivers, but do they have that star wide receiver? Not even close. And they take one here at DK.
All right. I have the Jags taking Jawan Taylor, offensive tackle from Florida. I think that they need to work on their offensive line. It was absolutely atrocious.
That's like 24th, 25th in the league.
Yeah.
last year.
So it wasn't good.
It
And
was not good.
I think that Jawan Taylor helps them out a lot. I think that he's also a guy from Florida, so I kind of factored that in too, which
Homegrown.
kind of homegrown Jaguar person. I don't know if he's a Jaguars fan. I was just saying, like, kind of like that. So Josh, y'all.
I agree with you. But I have Jonah Williams going to the Jacksonville Jaguars just based off of the fact that I think that he is the best offensive lineman coming out of this draft. So I think having a offensive tackle to protect Nick Foles coming in there, I think that'll help the Jacksonville Jaguars out a lot. And I think
For
that'll
sure.
actually help
I
them win games.
Completely agree with you. That's why I have the Jags taking Jawan Taylor as well. He also had a great combine. From what I've seen, it's different boards have Williams, Dillard, and then Jawan Taylor. Jawan Taylor's stock has risen a lot based off his agility and whatnot. So with Jonah Williams off the board, I feel like it's a perfect place to draft Jawan Taylor. Possibly fix your offense line, protects your new quarterback Nick Foles, and also helps Leonard Fournette run the ball.
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely.
And then Evan has, I think it was, Rashawn Gary, defensive end. Ben, in your opinion, would Rashawn Gary play a lot if the Jags drafted Rashawn Gary? Because you
No,
would have
because
Ngakoue.
They have Ngakwe,
Campbell.
Calais Campbell.
Didn't they trade
re-signed
Campbell?
Marcel Darius.
No, he's still on there.
They re-signed Marcel Darius on the inside. Last year, their first overall pick was a defensive tackle out of, or not, their first round
Who'd
pick.
the Jags trade to the
was a
Rams?
D-tackle out of Florida.
Dante Fowler.
They
Oh,
traded
my
Dante
bad.
Fowler, but he wasn't getting playing time. And honestly, I see a lot of
He's a free
similarities
agent now,
between Rashawn Gary and Dante Fowler, both physical freaks. And if Dante Fowler wasn't getting playing time, I don't see why Rashawn Gary would.
Okay.
Pick number 8, sorry. The Detroit Lions are on the clock.
Woo-woo.
Who's going to be the next Lion?
As the person we were just talking about, it's going to be Rashawn Gary. The Lions are, I believe, losing it in Ezekiel Ansah
Yeah.
to free
He
agency.
wasn't franchise tagged.
He was
so.
not franchise tagged. He will be a free agent. Ansah's been also their sole pass rusher for quite a while. He's kind of had to carry that load by himself.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of difficult for a guy that is good but not elite. He is a
True.
top, 20 pass rusher in the league.
Yeah.
But-
Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was never an elite talent. He had some good seasons back in like 2014, 2015. But they just need to get younger on the D line. They need to, and the upside here is tremendous with Rashawn Gary. One of the best high school recruits out of high school a couple years ago. Like he was top of the nation. People expected him to be going at this point. And he has, he's a physical freak and has all the potential in the world. Reminds me a lot of the player that the Saints drafted last year at 13.
Davenport?
Marcus Davenport. Unpolished, but has all the physical tools to become a dominant player in the NFL.
I said Rashawn Gary as well.
Same.
Timmy did too. Josh, however, the Lions fan in the room did not.
Yeah, the only reason why I selected Devin White over Rashawn Gary is just solely based off of the fact that we do have a linebacker issue. Even though last year we did draft Gerard Davis from Florida, or was that 2 years ago?
It was Florida. Yeah, it was this year.
This year, okay.
No,
Even though
2 years ago. You're right.
that's what I thought. Yeah. Even though we drafted him, he's done really well for the Detroit Lions. He still needs help in the middle linebacker position.
You also couldn't give them Rashawn Gary because you already had Rashawn Gary going at 4.
True.
Absolutely.
That's another reason.
Yeah, also too. But I would not be opposed to Rashawn Gary.
I think
going
Devin
to
White
Detroit.
is this year's Darius Leonard.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a way.
He's good.
I think he's more Roquan Smith, obviously, because he's as hyped as Roquan.
But I'm just
Yeah.
making the comparison.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to be as impactful as Darius Leonard, but in whatever team he goes to, he will make a huge impact.
He'll slot in, and he'll probably be the leading tackler for whatever team goes.
Hunter agreed with you, Josh, and has Devin White also going to the Lions.
Yeah.
Pick number 9, the Buffalo Bills. Ben, who is joining the Bills in Buffalo?
Jonah Williams, Josh Allen, last year broke a record for the most rushing yards for a quarterback over the span of 3 games.
This is true.
He wouldn't have had to do that if his pocket wasn't collapsing within a half a second.
Absolutely.
Therefore, although
Take
it
the
was
best tackle available.
it was a tremendous feat that he did, like that rushing yards, awesome, good for him. He shouldn't have to do that, which is why you take Jonah Williams here. You give him some more time in the pocket. You let him be the gunslinger that he can be.
Put a
Yes.
pin in our conversation. Is there any guards that are good?
Cody
I have
Ford,
not
Cody Ford
seen
can slot at
one-
guard.
Ford.
He's
Cody-
a tackle, though.
He
isn't
can.
He's gonna move.
People are-
Okay.
A lot of people are saying he slots
Because
at
I haven't
guard.
seen one guard at all.
Garrett Bradbury can be a center / guard.
I've seen him at center, but
Yeah.
I was just thinking about
Yeah,
that. I
but
was
there's
like,
not-
I've
there's
not
not a
seen
lot
one
of
guard
elite-
at all.
There's not a lot of top guard talents in this draft. There's no like Quentin Nelson or something.
All right, and then Timbo.
I have the Bills getting a franchise wide receiver for their franchise quarterback in Josh Allen. I have them getting DK Metcalf. I think Metcalf is that target that Allen needs to throw the ball to. I think that he deserves to be a top 10 pick after his combine, his 1.6% body fat, his just absolute monstrous.
He's gorgeous.
Thank you, Ben.
Was it 4.332 at 235 pounds?
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
1.6%
Mouth-watering
That's literally
specimen.
not. That's not supposed to happen.
He's
No.
a mouth-watering specimen.
So that's why
John
I
Gruden
have
is
DK
like
there.
creaming his pants watching
Me,
him.
Josh, and Evan all agreed that also DK Metcalf is also going to be drafted by the Bills. I will say this about DK Metcalf. I think he will be overdrafted
He
because of all of his combine stuff.
But he still has that
But
potential.
he's still a good wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If I were to see more tape on him, because there's like barely any tape on him,
No, he didn't play that much.
he's probably maybe, if before this he was easily past top 15.
Yes.
And now after the combine, he's like top 10 just because of all of that. But we don't know if he can really play receiver in the NFL. Now he's
We'll see.
fast enough, he has the intangibles, but
So
We'll
did
see.
Rashad Perriman.
exactly.
And
I like Rashad Perriman. So.
I like Brashad Perriman too, but he was obviously very overdrafted. He was
We
more
will
of a third
see.
or fourth rounder, but because he was a combine stud, got overdrafted.
We will see.
Metcalf, he just got overlooked at Ole Miss because obviously they had
A.J. Brown.
Yeah, they had Brown,
But he also was hurt,
and
too.
he was hurt too.
neck
Broken neck.
But
A broken freaking
Yeah.
neck like Kurt Angle.
90% of the time when you go to Ole Miss football game, you're like, oh look, there's Brown, and then they had the flying Hawaiian who was okay.
Jordan Tama.
Flying Hawaiian.
They
You
call
didn't,
him, man.
dude, that was
That's
Shane
fine.
Victorino.
Jordan
Oh,
Tama,
wow.
who will not be
Alright.
drafted.
They had to replace
So-
Shea somehow, but it didn't work out too well.
So do you think Tamu will get drafted in
No.
this draft at all?
No,
Who?
Tamu.
absolutely not.
No.
The Ole
Probably
Miss
not,
quarterback,
no.
no.
He will be
No.
a good player in the XFL.
In the CFL.
He could
What are you
make-
talking
He could
about?
switch positions.
Him and
so.
Nick Fitzgerald are going to go be buddies in the XFL or something.
Oh yeah.
Pick number 10, the Denver Broncos are on the clock. Who will be the newest addition to the Broncos?
Here we have the guy that was once the popular pick to go first overall, Ed Oliver, a blue chip prospect out of Houston. There isn't much to say about him except for he will slot in, he will play well. He has had questions about his motor
And attitude.
and whether he loves the game or not. But if he can get that all sorted out, he's a shoo-in Pro Bowler. He really is. And that makes the Broncos D-line probably the best in the NFL. If you add Ed Oliver to Chubb and Von Miller, that's scary for every other team in the AFC West.
Mhm.
For sure. I have Christian Wilkins going here from Clemson. Same reason as Ben. I think that if they slide him over to defensive tackle, I think that would be a better fit for him because they have now they'll have Von Miller, they'll have Bradley Chubb, and now they'll have Christian Wilkins in the middle as a defensive tackle. I don't think they. I think he's just better. The motor, like Ben said, of Ed Oliver is different.
Wilkins has a fantastic motor. I love the player.
Yeah. So.
It's just I think people see more of an upside with Ed Oliver.
Yep.
Yeah. But okay. That's it, Josh.
Joshua.
I have Jawan Taylor, the tackle from Florida, going to the Broncos. Now that Flacco is going to be at the Broncos, I think he needs a line to protect him. I didn't think that.
Considering he
I think
cannot
they got
run
rid of
to
their
save
tackle.
his life.
Didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They got rid of their tackle
But
too.
they do still have, I think, Garrett Bowles. They drafted.
He's on the right side, I think.
Yeah, they drafted him in the first round a couple
Yeah.
years ago, and he's a really solid tackle.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So, yep, that's why I chose him.
Evan selected Drew Lock to be
Interesting.
selected by the Broncos.
As
It would kind of be
he
weird.
took this mock draft from 3 months ago. Before
I
they
think
got
it's.
Joe Flacco.
I don't think they would do this considering they just traded for Joe Flacco. So,
Wow.
As if he logged on to Walter Football in class this
In
morning
my opinion-
and hit copy paste.
I agree with
I
Ben.
didn't see him do that.
I agree with Ben in
But
that
it's
the Broncos
hypothetical.
are going to take Ed Oliver. I think he's probably one of the most explosive D linemen. If he plays to his 100% potential, he will be a Pro Bowler, no doubt,
Yeah.
and he will be one of the most dominant defensive tackles in the years to come.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So.
Pick number 11, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock.
I've heard a lot of. This is not an original thought for me, which is unusual. I'm a really creative guy, but I've heard a lot of people linking Devin White to
Yeah.
the Bengals,
Mhm.
and it makes sense. From all accounts,
They need help on defense.
he has tremendous character. He's a tremendous leader. Something that the Bengals have been sorely lacking for a long time, considering. I mean, everybody knows that the Bengals' defense is dirty and underhanded, and
They
lack,
also were
they
the
lack
worst in
leadership.
the NFL in
Absolutely.
total yards and everything.
Not only do they play dirty, they don't play well. A way to fix that is to get a locker room leader and a tackle machine in Devin White. If he slips to them here, I think the Bengals, instant click, swipe right on Devin White. They love this guy.
Wow.
They're not going to let him slip through their fingers.
Can you try to swat that fly off the TV? It's annoying
This
me.
fly's been bothering
who do you
us
got?
for about like past.
I have Jonah Williams, offense tackle, Bengals. I think the Bengals need to protect Andy Dalton. It flew away, Ben.
For the 2 years they're going to have left of it.
Yeah, I mean, I also think the Bengals are in a position to draft a quarterback this year.
Not first round, but yeah.
Not first round, but definitely to draft a quarterback. So I think they're going to want to protect him in a way. So that's why I have Jonah
No,
Williams.
but
here.
actually, now that I think about it, what if though? What if the Bengals pull? I think it'd be really similar to what the Ravens did last year, kind of sneaking in,
and
drafting a
And
quarterback.
last
trading
round.
back up.
Or like trading down
Could
and
happen.
then
I can see the Bengals doing it, considering Andy Dalton has proven himself to be his
Inadequate.
His
New
ceiling.
coaching regime too.
His ceiling is 9-7.
inadequate.
New coaching regime too.
Thank you for that transition because that's actually the pick that I chose. I chose Daniel Jones, quarterback from Duke, to be the Cincinnati Bengals first round pick. Andy Dalton, and I'm sure all Cincinnati Bengals fans can agree with this, is not going to take them anywhere to
Past the first round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Marvin Lewis is out now, so we don't know. Marvin Lewis has never won a playoff
Yeah,
game.
I mean, absolutely. I mean,
But
they-
yeah, then again, neither did Dalton, so like
Yeah.
whose fault was it? We'll find out.
Probably both.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Daniel Jones would be really, really good coming into Cincinnati, and I think that he'll become what Dalton was supposed to be.
I have Devin White going to the Bengals. I agree completely with Ben. Their defense was the worst in the NFL, and Devin White can at least improve it. Maybe it's 20th. Who knows?
A little
but
bit.
That's what I think. I think he's
Little
a
bit.
guy that changes the defense completely. The Green Bay Packers are on the clock at number 12. Ben, who do you have them picking?
I have them taking Clelin Ferrell out of Clemson, and I must let it be
Really?
known that I'm in love with any Clemson D-line player. I think they're tremendously coached. I think they have most importantly, they have a motor and love for football. Clelin Ferrell's a really lanky guy on the outside, able to get his big old mitts on a quarterback pretty easily.
Big old myths.
Yeah, big old hands. I remember that he has one of the biggest wingspans for a D lineman in this draft. I could just see him tearing around the edge for the Packers and getting to the quarterback. And they lose Clay Matthews, and they've also never had a standout D end there for the Packers. So I think it's about time they get one.
Okay, Ben. As much as I love your pick, the Packers secondary has
Did
been
you just
atrocious.
change your pick?
No, it's
Okay,
always
I
been.
I saw you typing, so I didn't know.
Oh, I changed my pick for a different team.
Boo.
No. I realized he wasn't my first round.
Was it Devin White?
It was.
He wasn't in your first round.
I totally forgot about him.
Forget about Devin White.
Dang. Okay.
I forgot about
He's got a
him.
very flashy name.
Devin
you know.
White.
No, I forgot about him.
Devin
Anyway,
White.
I'm sorry. Anyway, the Packers choose the safety from Delaware, Nasir Adderley here. Their secondary has been atrocious for years. They still need help there, so that's why I think they pick the safety here. He's kind of, I don't want to say replacement Clinton Dix, which they had and traded away, but he is that player for them again. So, Josh.
I have the Packers going with tight end Noah Fant from Iowa. As a Lions fan, the Lions need a tight end, and I know that we're not going to get a tight end first round because we're going defensive. But obviously, Aaron Rodgers last year really struggled. I mean, even though he did have like an injury problem last year, he really didn't have many targets to throw to, especially in that tight end position. I mean, their tight end that they have this year, he was not good. So
Yeah, Jimmy Graham's getting old.
Yeah, true.
And I
Saints
think,
should've never traded him.
that Noah Fant coming in there, playing a year under Jimmy Graham, he can learn, all the, how to run routes and whatever, make big plays. And I think Noah Fant can be a really good tight end for the years to come with the Packers.
What about you, Jarrett?
Evan, I'll go first with Evan. Evan said Clelin Ferrell, and then I said Nasir Adderley as well. I looked at him as the replacement for basically Ha and Clinton Dix.
Mhm.
I saw him play in the Senior Bowl, and he
was a beast.
all over the field.
He was a beast.
He can play corner. He can probably cover some guys in the slot, and he can tackle and hit very well. If the Packers choose to maybe go defensive back, they can go with whichever one they like better. But overall, I think safety is where you kind of want to start with that.
True.
13th pick, the Miami Dolphins.
Ben.
Here I have the Dolphins taking Montez Sweat. I believe it was 2 years ago they took a DN out of Missouri in the first round. And the fact that I don't remember his name has proven how
I know. I
little
remember what you're
effect he's
talking
had
about,
for the
yep.
team. Cameron Wake, still plugging along.
Old.
But the dude's like 37. No longer elite. They need a pass rush down there in Miami. And I think Montez Sweat is an absolute beast. He does have some
Yes.
character issues that have been noted in the past. I believe there was some domestic violence allegations for him, or something along those lines. About a year ago, video surfaced of him doing something stupid, which happens all the time. Coming up to the draft with these kind of players, big testosterone-filled men. They're all the same.
He started at Michigan State out of high school, was there for a year, then went to Copiah Lincoln Community College in Mississippi.
That's why he did some stuff. He went to
Last
Mississippi.
chance you.
Yeah, he was last chance. Actually,
No.
no, he wasn't there that year. He wasn't there. But at Copiah Lincoln, he dominated. Helped him to a great season. I actually became friends with the kid. He went to Mississippi State, dominated, helped lead them to the #1 defense in the nation. He was his top 10 in sacks. So, there's no reason why he shouldn't be a top 10.
It's not top
Yeah,
10.
if
Top
he
15.
can get over the character concerns that I've heard reported,
Oh yeah, I agree.
then he's perhaps a Pro Bowl talent.
Yeah,
He's a
no,
Pro
I
Bowl
agree.
talent.
Joshua.
It could, and I can
Oh,
tell you
okay.
had some.
Skipping me.
Yeah.
I see.
Still a good kid.
I
Though.
think
I
is
thought
it
you were
Timmy's turn?
Sorry.
Nah.
Go, Timmy.
No, I have I have Andre Dillard here, the offensive lineman. I think they need to shore up their offensive line. I think that's should be more of a concern. As you can tell, I'm more of an offensive person. I've basically said that offense wins games and defense wins championships. So if you have I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying here. Just go, Josh.
All right. So I have the Miami Dolphins selecting Drew Lock from Missouri. I know I'm going quarterback heavy this first round like last year. I think that Ryan Tannehill is really bad, and he's atrocious. And if they ever
not
want to
bad.
get an offensive going, I think Drew Lock's their guy. He's not the best quarterback coming from this draft, obviously, Dwayne Haskins is. But he also has arm talent as well. He could really sling the ball. And I think he'll find receivers in Miami. I think he'll actually fit Miami's system really well. And I think he will be one of the top quarterbacks coming in his rookie year. So, yeah.
Evan has
Greg Little.
Yeah, something
from
worth
Ole
noting.
Miss.
The little skittle.
Have not seen him in a mock draft in the first round.
I
in
have
wow.
not either. So
2 months.
let's-
He at the beginning of
It's
the
okay.
year, yeah, he was considered
Hashtag
a
bold predictions.
Bold
Yeah.
predictions from Evan.
I
bold
have,
predictions or old.
I have the
predictions.
Miami Dolphins taking Andre Dillard as well. If they're going to continue to have Tannehill as their quarterback, protect the man.
Sure.
I think Evan
Ben?
just
With
was thinking
four-
about George Kittle and accidentally spelled his name.
14, the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh.
Here I have the Falcons taking Christian Wilkins. I'll make it short and sweet. They need a partner for Grady Jarrett on the inside. I love Wilkins. I love his motor. I think he is a tremendous player, and he'll slot right in there and make a difference day one.
True. I have the Falcons taking Brian Burns, edge rusher from Florida State. I think he's a DN that they need. They haven't had a DN in a while. Originally, first go around in my mock draft, I had them taking a corner because we just let go a lot of our corners, and I thought that they would get a corner to basically go with a partner with Desmond Trufant, but I don't know. I think Brian Burns is a safer pick with an edge rusher, something that their D-line definitely needs because we're good at linebacker and we were good at secondary until we cut everybody, but Yeah, go Josh.
Joshua Mullins.
Yes, sir. I also have the Atlanta Falcons taking Brian Burns, the edge rusher, for the exact same reason Timmy said. I mean, he'll slot in there really well.
Evan had Christian Wilkins the same as Ben, and then I had Christian Wilkins as well. So I'm glad
Lit.
we all are agreeing on that pick. The Washington Redskins are at 15.
Here,
This one was tricky for me, I'll be honest.
Absolutely.
I didn't know
believe
who
I
to
have them
choose.
Taking,
Back and forth.
I believe I have them taking Drew Lock here. I think Drew Lock has the best pure arm talent
Yep.
in this draft.
Absolutely.
He's a gunslinger. Reminds me a lot of prime Jay Cutler.
I don't think he's that accurate, but
Yeah.
Hence prime Jay Cutler. I
Shots
think
fired.
If,
PJ.
if Jay Cutler had a winning attitude like Drew Lock has, he could have been a resounding success in the NFL. So now that we get to see basically Jay Cutler part 2, see what he would do if he actually had a good attitude, because by all accounts Drew Lock is a fantastic guy. Like, everybody loves him, and just one of those guys that just everybody rallies around. Jay Gruden, you all know how those Grudens get. They start salivating and they focus in on one player, and they're like, oh my god, they're all weird. I hate the Grudens. But despite the point, I think Jay Gruden is in love with Drew Lock here, understandably so. And with Alex Smith out for the foreseeable future, I think they take a flyer here on Drew Lock.
So I did this with the thought that I don't think they go quarterback. It's a surprise. They're right now, I've heard, one of the front runners for Rosen. So they might be getting Rosen in Washington. So that's why I said they'll take TJ Hawkinson. I always want to say Hawkinschmidt.
Mark.
Yeah, because of Mark. But it's Hawkinson. I think that he's a good tight end. I know there's another tight end in Noah Fant there, but I think that Hawkinson's the better tight end for the Redskins. So, Josh?
All right, so this is going to be my bold prediction. I actually have the Washington Redskins taking a chance on Will Greer, the quarterback from West Virginia. Even though his Senior Bowl was terrible, and
Absolutely.
he still is not a first-round talent. If the Washington Redskins don't get Josh Rosen and Drew Lock and Daniel Jones and all of them are taking off the board early, which is probably not likely, I think Will Greer is a good choice. I mean, he's not a terrible quarterback, but he's not a proven enough quarterback to go first round for the Redskins. But this is my bold prediction, though. This is for the Redskins to do.
Evan has selected Daniel Jones will be the quarterback that the Redskins take, so he agrees with you guys that they're going to take a quarterback. I, however, had in mind that they would trade for Rosen as well, so I picked the best receiver on the board for Rosen, and that would be Marquise Brown from Oklahoma. He kind of reminds me a lot of Landry in a sense.
Yeah.
Probably not the best hand. I mean, not as good as hands as Landry. Just as fast, just as agile.
Reminds me a lot of D-Jacks.
Yep, that too.
For
so,
sure.
Great speedster kind of guy. Definitely will make it in plenty of NFL offenses.
Blows the top off defenses.
Yeah. So that's our top 15.
Let's start getting rapid fire here.
Yeah, I
For
was
sure.
gonna
Yeah.
say we can just like list off now. We don't have to go in depth.
I'll go
Top,
I'll
but
go
that's our
very-
top 15 in depth.
I'll give
maybe someday.
10-second in depth.
Yeah, maybe later on when we get closer to draft day, we can go quick fire on all of our picks and kind of be like, all right, this is why, this is why.
Yeah.
Ben, you want to go first, starting with the Panthers at 16.
Panthers, Jawan Taylor here. They lost their tackle. They need a new tackle. Jawan Taylor.
Garrett Bradbury, offensive line, same thing as Ben.
I went for the center, Grad Bradbury, because their center retired. So.
Yeah.
And then I selected Jawan Taylor, or no, excuse me, that's Ben's. I picked Montez Sweat to go with the Panthers. They need an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Peppers is getting old. I don't think he's even
Sure.
on the Panthers anymore.
No,
so
he's not.
yeah, so Sweat replace Peppers.
We
Good to go.
He needs help.
Um,
17, the Cleveland Browns.
Ben.
I have the Browns taking Byron Murphy. Murphy's my favorite cornerback in this draft. I think he's a very aggressive ball hawk of a cornerback, and I think he slots in perfectly across from Denzel Ward and creates a really good combo for the Browns.
Played against him in high
Good.
school.
I think that Devin White slides all the way to the Browns, and I think the Browns need a linebacker. They just get Jamie Collins. So I think White is that linebacker that they choose.
If he's on the board.
If
they're
he's on the board,
absolutely
yes.
taking him.
That's why I'm saying he's on my board in mine, so that's why.
I just don't like Devin Bush.
Josh.
I have Marquise Brown from Oklahoma going to the Cleveland Browns, even though they probably will draft defense first round. Can never go wrong with Marquise Brown.
But I think that you have a good point with drafting Marquise Brown because
He was one of
OU
Mayfield's
connections.
favorite
Yeah.
targets
For
at
sure.
Oklahoma.
For sure.
Me being a Browns fan, I kind of know what they're looking for. They need defense more than they need offensive weapons. If Devin Bush is there, they'll take Devin Bush. If there's other players that are available, they'll pick them. But
Do you
for
see
me,
them trading
I
up?
meant Devin White. No, I don't think they'll trade up. No, they don't have the
The draft.
the
Like-
means to do. They don't have the means to do it. So I said Devin Bush, linebacker from Michigan. When I said earlier, I meant Devin White, not Devin Bush. But Devin Bush, he can fill the Jamie Collins role.
Absolutely.
He can basically just come in, plum, boom, you're starting, go.
Absolutely.
18th
For
pick,
sure.
Minnesota Vikings.
Right here I have Dalton Risner, the tackle out of Kansas State.
I have no idea who that is.
He's not a. I mean, he's not a popular first round pick. I've seen him slotted in a couple of mocks here in the first round. He has a really good mean streak, really good strength, and I think the Vikings O line needs that.
Yep. I got Cody Ford, a lineman, guy we talked about. He can slide into guard and tackle. I think they really need a guard. They have their 2 tackles, so I think they go Cody Ford. Josh,
I just want to let you guys know I caught the fly.
did you kill it?
Yeah, it's in my hand right now.
Kill it. Kill it. It's dead. Nice.
Yeah. So I have the Minnesota Vikings.
That was a
going
good catch.
I cut the fly.
I got hands, bro. I have the Minnesota
round pick,
Vikings
Josh.
picking Devin Bush, linebacker from Michigan. I think that he would slide in very well for the
Good
Vikings.
defense, yeah.
I have the Vikings taking Garrett Bradbury. I feel like they need an offensive lineman. Garrett Bradbury can fill the center role or the guard role. Perfect fit for the Vikings.
Yep. Josh.
19, Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans here. I have T.J. Hawkinson. Their current tight end, Delaney Walker, is
Is old.
a legend, but he's also getting old. I think before he really hits his huge decline, you slot in Hawkinson next to him. You have Hawkinson learn, and then you develop Hawkinson to be the next great tight end in the NFL.
I have them taking Fant, which is the other Iowa tight end. So I think that what Ben said, but with Fant this time, not Hawkinson. Josh.
I have the Tennessee Titans selecting Clelin Ferrell from Clemson. Huge motor, and he'll get a lot of sacks.
And then I have the Titans selecting Greedy Williams, cornerback from LSU. Finally, the first defensive back off the board for any of us.
No.
I-
He had
I-
Oh,
Byron
you
Murphy.
had Byron
17.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. I think Greedy Williams is a lockdown defensive back. Perfect for the Titans. They play in a passing division.
Yeah.
So
True.
perfect for them. He can easily start right away. Number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right here, I have the Steelers taking Grady Williams, just like you just said for the Titans. Exact same analysis for the Steelers. He slots in. He's a lockdown corner. He's a premium starter, and that's something the Steelers need.
Same. I have Greedy Williams as well.
So does Josh.
I also have Greedy Williams.
I have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Brian Burns from Florida State. I feel like they need.
You have him taking Murphy.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Murphy.
Byron Murphy. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. Byron Murphy. So we all agreed defensive back. That defensive back core is old
Depleted.
and not the greatest.
Yeah.
So
Joe
uh,
Hayden's their current cornerback.
yeah,
one.
so
Steelers
this
also
gives them a
gotta fix that
replenish.
organization.
Yeah, that too. Seattle Seahawks. 21.
I have Seahawks taking Brian Burns here. They retained Frank Clark with their franchise tag. Now they need to pair him up with another stud D end, and in this case, that is Brian Burns.
I have them taking Taylor Rapp the safety from Washington. I think that they're going to go more secondary just to fix up that secondary because it's a little – they lost which safety was it? Which one of their safeties, guys?
Eric Reed?
No.
Eric Reed was playing for the Texans.
Shoot.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a legend, too.
Yeah, he's good. No, it wasn't Earl Thomas.
Yeah, it was Earl
It was Earl
Oh,
Thomas?
is it Earl Thomas?
Yeah, it was.
So-
Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
They
Earl
lost-
Thomas.
They lost
So-
Earl Thomas, presumably,
And then
to the
Cam.
Cowboys.
And then Cam Chancellor, but they lost Earl Thomas, so I think that Rapp is the replacement. Okay.
Yeah.
Josh.
I have the Seattle Seahawks going with Ed Oliver, defensive tackle. They need a D line just like they need an O line. So, yeah.
I have the Seahawks taking Brian Burns as well. Good pairing with Frank Clark. Number 22, the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
Here I have the Ravens taking Marquise Brown. He's a real flyer, can take the top off the defense. Is kind of like a little bit quicker Jarvis Landry with a little worse hands. And the Ravens need someone for Lamar to pass it to. Whether Lamar can pass or
If
not
Lamar can throw the ball
If-
far enough to him.
depends to be seen. Or has yet to be seen whether Lamar can make the throws to Marquise. But whether or not he can, well, if he can, he needs someone to throw it to.
Yeah.
I got the Ravens taking Josh Jacobs here, running back, Alabama.
Yeah, they just lost Gus Edwards.
Did they?
Or,
Oh, no, they lost Alex Collins.
that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I like Gus Edwards. I think he's a
No,
good,
I think
a
he's good. I
bulldozer.
think that they need another back, and I think that
a lightning to the
Yeah.
fender.
Yep. Joshua?
I have the Baltimore Ravens taking Campbell from OH. I think that he will help out Lamar Jackson if Lamar Jackson, like you said, can throw it that far. But I think Campbell is a good receiver. So.
I also have the Ravens taking Josh Jacobs as well because Alex Collins did get released. So, new running back.
Ben.
23, Houston Texans.
Yeah, I have them taking Yannick Just out of West Virginia, the offensive tackle, best name in the draft.
True.
Yannick
Yeah.
Kajust.
Yeah, just protect Deshaun Watson.
For the love of
Um,
God.
They've
Yeah.
I think last year they might have given up the most sacks in the league.
Yep.
And that can't happen when you have an elite talent back there. Starting at quarterback, you can't get him hurt, so you gotta protect him. Kajust is a big boy, capable of making these big plays.
Yeah, no. I have them taking AJ Brown because I think they need a wide receiver threat. Because to go along with who's their other receiver? Hopkins. Go along with Hopkins because they're not gonna have Demaryius Thomas because
still
they
have,
cut him. They
Did
have
that
Fuller.
Will Fuller.
They have Fuller, but
They
I'd
do.
rather
Yeah,
have
they have.
I'd rather have AJ Brown, or in my opinion, than Fuller at this point. So I think
Damn, that was loud.
counterpoint to that. So Josh, go.
I have the Texans taking T.J. Hawkinson. Deshaun Watson needs a big target to throw to, and I think that'd be their back.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of a Texans tight end. Who's the Texans
Yeah.
tight end?
There was one a few years
Brian
ago.
Griffin
Yep.
is their current tight end.
Yeah, but-
Who was it a few years ago?
Not
That was
Peter
really
Griffin?
good.
They just
He
throw
played
JJ
with
Watt out
Matt
there.
Schaub.
and then-
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I'm trying to remember his name.
I'll remember it in 5
was
minutes,
good,
but that'll
but
take
yeah.
up too much of the podcast.
I said Texans take AJ Brown as well.
How'd he take it?
24, the Oakland Raiders again.
I have the Raiders taking DeAndre Baker here. He's the best DB left on the board for me. Raiders need someone to slot across from what's his name? The Ohio State guy.
The other Ohio State guy.
Garyon Conley.
Yeah, Garyon Conley. Proven himself last year, kind of emerged in his second year as a legit starting corner. They need another one of
He is a
those.
legit starting corner.
Yeah, no. I have the Raiders taking Byron Murphy, same as Ben's
Totally
thought
be happy with
process. Just because I think that they need another corner, as I said. But yeah, Josh, who you got?
I have the Raiders selecting Cody Ford, the tackle from Oklahoma. I think that they need to upgrade their offensive line to protect Derek Carr.
Okay.
I had the Raiders taking Clellan Ferrell. I don't know if he's going to fall that far, but the Raiders could use another edge rusher. So Clellan Ferrell fits the mold perfectly, helps that defense.
Ben?
The
Here at
Philly
25,
Eagles.
I got the Eagles taking Josh Jacobs. Without I think they have Ajayi, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
but he's
Yeah, but
injured,
he's a free agent.
And he's
Ajayi's
hurt.
a free agent. They really don't have a starting running back. I think they're the team that's obviously, or is the most obvious to take a running back here, and the consensus number 1 in the draft is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. I have them taking Marquise Brown here, wide receiver, Oklahoma. I think that they could upgrade their wide receiver position. He's a burner, which they need. So yeah.
I also have the Philadelphia Eagles taking Josh Jacobs. Without Ajayi, they don't have a running back, and I think Josh Jacobs will do well there.
I have the Eagles taking DeAndre Baker. They literally lost everybody in that secondary this year. DeAndre Baker could definitely refresh that defense in the back end at least.
Yeah, for sure.
26, the Indianapolis Colts.
Here I have them taking Dexter Lawrence. As I mentioned earlier, big fan of the Clemson D-line. The Colts need a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, but they're a pretty well-rounded team at this point, so just getting a solid, intelligent player like Dexter Lawrence is something that they just can't go wrong with.
Yeah. No. I have the Colts taking Clellan Ferrell here. I don't know if he falls this far, but I think that he's someone that could help out that Colts defense again, which they had last year with their second-round pick. Forgetting his name. He was Defense Rookie of the Year. Darius Leonard. So, yeah.
Can you stop that?
Stretch it.
Ben, put the
No,
chair
you're
down.
not. Put the
Put the
chair
chair
down.
down.
Put the chair down.
Okay. Josh.
I have the Indianapolis Colts taking Arizona's very own. Is it Keneal? Is that how you say it?
Nikhil.
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 It would be Keneal if the K came first.
Yeah, Nikhil Harry, amazing Pac-12 player, awesome receiver, and I think he will definitely slide into the Colts offense.
I
and
agree with
give
I
Andy luck.
agree with you. I think the Colts would be a perfect fit for him. 27, the Oakland Raiders again.
The Raiders take A.J. Brown here. A.J. Brown is a spectacularly solid wide receiver, is the way I put it. He's good at everything, great at nothing, and a very safe pick at wide receiver. And the Raiders just need someone to catch the ball.
So I think the Raiders go all defense first round, and I said they take the Mississippi State safety, Jonathan Abram. I think that he will help out their back end, which they need. I think they need a bigger help on defense than they do on offense, but that's just my personal opinion. So Josh, who do you have the Raiders taking at 27?
I have the Oakland Raiders selecting Brian Murphy, the D-back. I also think that Raiders will go all defense. Actually, no, I have a tackle for them. Mostly defense then in this first round, so they need to upgrade that defense.
Yeah, for sure.
I have the Raiders taking Noah Fant. They're going to lose Jared Cook, so I feel like Noah Fant can be a replacement for that. Also, breaking news here at Grand Canyon University. GCU beats number 1 Florida State 5-3 in softball. The first GCU D1 era team to beat the number 1 team in the country. So
There you go.
Lopes up to
Lopes
that.
up,
Lopes
yeah,
up to
yeah.
that.
Lopes
Lopes
up.
up.
We love our Lady
Shout out
Lopes.
to the
Lady
softball
Lopes.
team.
Yeah, there you go.
That is Florida
Lady
State's first loss of the
I
season.
doubt any of you will ever listen to this, and if you do, you will not have listened this far. So,
Yeah.
may I say that GCU softball, we love you. We have a Timmy for you. If any of you are
Alright.
need
Congratulations,
of a Timmy.
girls. Keep pushing.
That's right.
Benjamin, number 28, LA Chargers.
I think the Chargers go Daniel Jones here. Phillip Rivers is going to fall off sooner than later. They need his
think that's-
replacement. Daniel Jones is a very solid quarterback that could become a good starter in this league if given the mentorship of
Timmy,
Phil
what are you
Rivers.
signaling me for?
Nothing. I was just saying that
He's
us
throwing up gang
triangle.
signs. Timmy's in a gang.
No, I'm not. I was saying the triangle here. We all agree that Daniel Jones is going to the Chargers.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was saying. And then Josh is the odd one out because he already had one. Daniel Jones picked.
Yes,
So.
sir.
Yeah.
Since I already have Daniel Jones picked, I have the Los Angeles Chargers replacing the safety that went to free agent, and then I have them replacing with the Delaware safety, Nasir Adderley.
So yeah. All right.
Number 29, the Kansas City Chiefs.
This one's for you, Riker.
I do have the Chiefs taking Nasir Adderley here. Their safeties are subpar at best. Nasir Adderley.
Their whole defensive end.
Yeah,
Subpar.
Their whole defensive backs at this point is just not good. Nasir blew up the Senior Bowl.
For sure.
He could be a stud safety in this league.
Anyway, I have them taking DeAndre Baker. I think that they need a corner to go along with it. I think that he's that corner for them. Josh.
I have them taking Taylor Rapp from Washington, the safety, for the same exact reason. You know, their safeties and DBs are struggling, so they need new ones.
I have the Chiefs also taking a safety, but I have them taking Deontay Thompson out of Alabama. I was tempted to put Thompson for the Packers, but I like Nasir Adderley better, so I feel Deontay Thompson could be a at least solid safety. Probably not like a hybrid like Clinton Dix was, but definitely just like a solid safety.
For sure.
Number 30, the Green Bay Packers are again on the board.
I have been taking Jonathan Abram out of Mississippi State. I think he is another really solid addition to the Packers that just need to really stack up on defense at this point.
Yeah.
Because,
I also have
everybody knows their offense is run by the greatest quarterback of all time, Aaron Rodgers.
I have them running defense as well. I have Jalen Ferguson, edge rusher out of Louisiana Tech. I think he's very good. Not many people know about him, but he's a pretty good edge rusher. So yeah, I think they go edge here. Just as we said, they lost Clay Matthews. I think. Did we say that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they lost Clay, and they've never had a good D end.
So yeah, that's why I have them taking them.
I have the Green Bay Snackers selecting Eric McCoy.
I believe it's pronounced Packers.
Nah, they suck.
Cheez-Its,
yeah.
Cheez-Its.
I have them selecting the offensive lineman from Texas A&M. They need to protect Aaron Rodgers, even though I hope
Rodgers.
Amen, Rodgers.
You gotta. I mean, if not, he's got insurance. State Farm might protect him.
Absolutely.
Discount double check.
Boy.
I have the Packers taking Draymond Jones here. I feel like Draymond Jones is better than Dexter Lawrence in a retrospective rushing the passer. So that's why I put him there. He can still play the run pretty well when Nick Bosa went down with his injury, Draymond Jones became like the lead man on that defensive line, and it was still really good. So I feel like Draymond Jones can flourish just with that hole in the defensive line. 31, the LA Rams.
I have the Rams taking Devin Bush here. Forgot who it was, but I believe they're losing a linebacker. And
Mark Barron, but
Yeah,
he's
they cut
technically
Barron.
safety, so.
No, he was a
Barron,
linebacker.
and there was another. And Dante Fowler is a 3-4
They're
linebacker.
they're
as well.
losing one, yeah. I don't know. his name.
They're losing people at the linebacker position. They need to get young here if they want to maintain their position at the top of the league. They go Devin Bush.
I don't know how to say this guy's name. It's Joshy, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Ja'Kai Polite.
Ja'Kai Polite.
Yeah.
From Florida.
From Florida.
Ja'Kai Polite.
Joshy.
Joshy.
Polite.
I think
I'm
they
sorry,
go edge.
Ja'Kai, if you're listening to this, I didn't mean to butcher your name like that. Please don't
I did butcher
come
your
at
name.
me.
I'm
You're
sorry.
a big, scary man.
Yeah, if you ever listen, don't blame us. We're sorry.
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd say the Rams take him. They got nothing to lose.
Ja'Kai
Another
Polite.
edge.
Yeah,
It's another
they got
edge.
nothing to lose. His stock is falling because of his terrible combine, but
Not have.
but I feel like the Rams have nothing to lose with that pick. So
Yeah, there you go. I mean, and they
Gets a
lost
good-
Dante Fowler.
gets a good pick for the value.
Joshua.
I got Jonathan Abram, the safety from Mississippi State. They need to, they ever want to win a Super Bowl, they need to focus on their defense and also
my
to
God.
focus on their offense and probably play Todd Gurley. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
if they actually play him, they might win
That's
the
what I'm
Super
saying.
Bowl.
Yeah, they didn't play.
I'm just kidding.
No.
32,
Just kidding.
the New
I love
England
you, Evan.
Patriots, once again.
While it would be a very Patriots thing to draft Jeffrey Simmons here, and I, apologize to Jeffrey that he's slipped out of the first round in all of our mocks because he is
It's because he's hurt.
Yeah, it's because he's hurt. He is a first-round talent. Jeffrey, I know you're an avid listener to the podcast. We love you. We love your support.
Big fan. Yeah.
Big fan of
Huge
yours.
fan.
However, here I have them going with Black Gronk. Noah Fant. Phenomenal player out of
The new-
Iowa.
the new-
Gronk is going to retire within
The next 2 years.
Next 2 years.
perhaps a year, perhaps a week. I wouldn't be retired if we got the update right now that says Gronk signs with WWE.
Wow. Anyway,
Ooh.
I have the-
Anyway, yeah, Noah Fant slots in,
Yeah,
begins a new era
for
at
sure.
tight end for the Patriots.
also the new era of Trevor Lawrence as the Patriots quarterback, everybody.
Jesus.
Whoa. That's definitely the
Anyway,
Lions quarterback.
anyway.
It's gonna happen. I don't know how, and I don't know why the gods would do that to us. God, the gods. Who cares?
Trayvon Mullins, I have him going to the Patriots here. I think they need help on the defense secondary. I think they go Clemson cornerback, stuff like that.
Cheeseburger.
But yeah, Josh.
I have the New England Patriots selecting Christian
Cheeseburger.
Wilkins,
Stop.
from Clemson. I think that they need a better defensive line. I mean, obviously their offense is amazing, but if neither of the Iowa tight ends are picked before the Patriots have their selection, I think the Patriots do select either one. So
For the Patriots, I really had a hard time kind of picking because I was like, okay, like what are the real holes? So I kind of just narrowed it down to wide receiver again. Chris Hogan's not great. Julian Edelman is great. Who's their other wide receiver?
did you say
Edelman?
Dorsett.
Did you say
Oh.
Hogan?
Dorsett, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I have the Patriots taking J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He also had a really good combine. He has
He's
been
slow
now.
though.
But have
He's
you seen his
slow.
hands?
He's like
Dude,
6'4",
no.
But that's
though.
the
He's
thing, though.
slow,
Okay.
and they're already slow enough because it's just
That's
a
why you
bunch of
have
white
Edelman.
guys.
That's why you have Edelman.
Even
J.J.
though he's
Arcega-Whiteside's
slow, as long as
hands
you're
are
a good route
ridiculous,
runner
dude.
And you have good hands, you can.
He,
be a good
oh
receiver.
my gosh, J.J.
He, honestly, I
Arcega-Whiteside's
could see him
hands.
slotting in at tight end.
Woo!
Honestly,
He's a really good.
Whiteside is kind of a hybrid wide receiver tight end kind of guy.
Yeah,
He's
so
really
that's
good.
why I have him kind of sliding into the Patriots.
All right,
Reminds me of a lot of Evan Ingram for the Giants.
Yeah.
guys, we made it.
Finally, yeah, finally got through it. That's all of our mocks. I wish we had a website to post this to. I think that would be kind of cool
Yeah.
to have a
We are in the
website for us to
process.
post all of our mocks on.
www.licktimmysweatynuts.
No,
.com.
bad,
Oh my
bad,
gosh,
bad,
man.
bad, bad.
/
And this is-
Kenny Bread.
This is why nobody will listen, because Ben talks about Timmy in inappropriate ways.
That's what the viewers want to.
No,
the
it's not.
listeners want more Timmy.
No, they
he
don't.
is what draws for this channel.
Okay, anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This has been the first mock draft for the winning tradition. What, Josh?
Before we go, I do want to shout out. If you have not done so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. New content coming. It won't be just a podcast. We have vlogs coming. We have all fun stuff coming. Check us
Perhaps
out
if
on
the
YouTube.
fans
Yeah.
wanted enough
So,
a Timmy porno.
What?
So-
Stop!
No!
Yes, but
No!
yeah, definitely check
Yeah.
out the
No.
YouTube channel. Follow us on all social media: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat.
My parents listen to this.
We will.
We're not doing a
all
Timmy porno. I
be
apologize.
Participating in this, so
Yeah, weekly vlogs along with the podcast. All podcasts are recorded too. We did post a vlog last weekend when we were at Elevate Trampoline Park. If you have
Yes,
not seen
sir.
that, please give it a like, thumbs up, and
Yeah.
thank you.
and subscribe. Filmed by yours truly.
This has been the winning tradition. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I have been Ben.
I have been your boy Josh.
I have been Hunter.
I'm Timmy, but you know that.
Thank you guys for listening. God bless. Leave a like on the video for the podcast. Also subscribe to YouTube, just like Josh said. Let's grow this thing. Let's make it big.
Absolutely.
Other than that, have a blessed day. God bless you guys. See you guys next time.
Peace.